At 9 a.m. in Phoenix, Arizona, Judge Thomas Harrison delivers a 60-year sentence to a young man. The evidence seems irrefutable, but appearances can be deceiving. The courtroom is packed that sultry morning. The air hangs heavy, not just from the desert heat, but from the gravity of what's about to unfold. All eyes fix on Judge Harrison, age 65, whose reputation for harsh sentences precedes him. His weathered face, carved by 38 years on the bench, shows no emotion as he surveys the room. Before him stands Michael Cooper, 24, maintaining perfect composure despite his trembling hands. Like many before him, Michael declares his innocence in the armed robbery of Henderson's fine jewelry, a heist that left one man fighting for his life. Mr. Cooper. Judge Harrison's baritone fills the hushed chamber. You stand convicted by a jury of your peers. The evidence shows premeditation, ruthlessness, and a complete lack of remorse. If you're finding this story compelling, consider subscribing to support more true crime narratives like this one. In the back row, Elizabeth Cooper stifles her tears. She pleaded with the court to see beyond the case file, to recognize the boy who once rescued injured birds, who dreamed of becoming a paramedic. But the prosecution's case speaks louder. Surveillance footage, eyewitness accounts, and that damning anonymous tip. I hereby sentence you to 60 years in state prison. The gavel strikes. The sound echoes like a gunshot. Michael stands motionless, jaw clenched, as deputies lead him away. His final glance toward his mother carries the weight of 1,000 unspoken words. In his chambers, Judge Harrison pours himself black coffee, his usual post-sentencing ritual. Justice served, or so he believes. But fate has other plans, and the truth he's just buried is about to surface, threatening to destroy everything he's built. The case had dominated local headlines for months. The crime itself was brazen, a masked gunman storming Henderson's on a busy Tuesday afternoon, making off with $280,000 in merchandise. The violence left store manager David Reynolds critically wounded. Michael Cooper's arrest came 2 weeks after the robbery. One anonymous call changed everything, claiming he matched the description of the fleeing suspect. But something about that call would later prove crucial. The prosecution's case seemed airtight. A storage unit in Michael's name contained stolen items. Security footage showed a suspect with his build. 3 witnesses swore they recognized his voice. Most damning, fingerprints on an abandoned weapon. I wasn't there, Michael testified, his voice steady. I've never touched a gun in my life. His alibi, working overtime at Jackson's Auto Repair, crumbled when his employer couldn't confirm his exact hours. But fate works in mysterious ways. 1 month after sentencing, Judge Harrison reviews a police misconduct case. A single document catches his eye, an evidence log from an unrelated investigation. There, listed plainly, a gun matching the Henderson's robbery weapon. If you're invested in this story of justice and redemption, hit subscribe to join us for more compelling narratives. Harrison's blood runs cold. According to this log, the gun was in police custody 2 days after the robbery. Impossible unless. He digs deeper. The investigating officer, Detective James Walker, had testified in Michael's trial. The anonymous tip, traced to a burner phone registered under Walker's alias. Working late into the night, Harrison uncovers more inconsistencies. Witness statements altered, evidence logs tampered with, security footage selectively edited. The judge who'd prided himself on unwavering justice now faces a haunting reality. He might have sentenced an innocent man. The system he trusted for nearly 4 decades suddenly feels like quicksand beneath his feet. Harrison reaches out to retired investigator Mark Reynolds, known for exposing corruption. This isn't sloppy police work, Tom. Reynolds warns over coffee. Someone orchestrated this. Someone powerful. Together, they uncover a pattern stretching back years. Detective Walker's history reveals multiple cases with similar irregularities, all buried under bureaucratic paperwork. But the Henderson's robbery case would be his undoing. A breakthrough comes on a stormy evening. Detective Walker's deleted emails reveal communications with the district attorney's office, a calculated plan to frame Michael Cooper. The real target? a massive insurance fraud scheme involving Henderson's fine jewelry. The robbery was staged, Reynolds explains, spreading documents across Harrison's desk. Walker wasn't just corrupt, he was part of it. Michael Cooper was the perfect fall guy. But exposing the truth proves dangerous. Harrison receives threatening calls at midnight. His car vandalized. Notes warning, "Back off or else." Yet the judge refuses to yield. If this tale of corruption and redemption resonates with you, take a moment to subscribe. Your support helps us bring more stories of justice to light. The turning point arrives unexpectedly. Security footage from a neighboring business, mysteriously lost during the original trial, surfaces. It shows Detective Walker himself leaving Henderson's back entrance minutes after the robbery, carrying a suspiciously heavy duffel bag. Harrison calls an emergency hearing. The courtroom buzzes with tension as new evidence unfolds. Walker, sitting among spectators, grows pale as his carefully constructed lies crumble. "This case represents more than a miscarriage of justice," Harrison declares, his voice resonating through the stunned chamber. "It exposes a cancer within our system, one that we must excise." The investigation explodes. 5 other officers implicated. 3 judges suspected of taking bribes. The district attorney's office facing federal scrutiny. The corruption runs deeper than anyone imagined. 2 months later, Michael Cooper walks free. 4 years of his life stolen, but his spirit unbroken. The media swarms, but he only has eyes for his mother, Elizabeth, who never lost faith. Harrison watches from his chambers, emotions warring within him. His career may be ending. The establishment doesn't forgive those who expose its secrets, but his conscience is finally clear. Subscribe now to unlock part of our archive featuring similar stories of justice prevailing against all odds. Michael's release triggers a review of hundreds of cases. Walker faces multiple life sentences. Henderson's owner confesses to insurance fraud. The system begins its slow path to reform. But the story doesn't end there. Michael Cooper, instead of retreating from his ordeal, establishes the Cooper Justice Initiative, helping others wrongfully convicted. Judge Harrison joins him as legal advisor, dedicating his retirement to fixing the system he once trusted blindly. Years later, Harrison reflects, "Justice isn't just about following laws. It's about having the courage to question them when something feels wrong." One document, one moment of doubt, changed everything. Elizabeth Cooper now leads support groups for families of the wrongfully convicted. The Henderson's building has become a legal aid center. Phoenix's police department undergoes complete restructuring. This story reminds us that justice, though blind, should never be deaf to the truth. That sometimes the greatest acts of courage come from admitting our mistakes and fighting to correct them. As for Michael Cooper, he finally achieved his dream of helping others, not as a paramedic, but as a beacon of hope for those fighting similar battles. His message is simple: never stop fighting for the truth. Today, the Cooper Justice Initiative has helped free 37 wrongfully convicted individuals. Each case a reminder that while the system may be flawed, it's not beyond repair. If this story moved you, please subscribe to our channel. Together, we can shine a light on more stories of justice, redemption, and the power of truth. Remember, sometimes the greatest injustices hide in plain sight, and sometimes it takes just one person willing to ask questions to change everything. This has been Voices of Justice. Until next time, keep seeking truth.